everyone. Today we will continue our series and doing some practice about statistics and data analysis. Let's take a look at this example. For example, in this example we have 10 calories. We have calories in some meals, and the number of these samples are 10 samples. So the table above lists the number of calories in each of Mary's last 10 meals. So if we added one of these samples to this table, so the new sample is for today's meal, we will add this value to the list above. So it's asking me which one of the following statistical measures of the data will not change. So guys, in this example we have to pay attention that we have two different things. The first one is, in this case we're not adding this value to all these values. So we're not adding a k, which is a number, to these values. We are just adding one value to the end of this list. So basically we are just repeating the last one, which is 900 in this case. So we have another value. So instead of having n equals to 10, which is the number of samples, the new n, the new number of samples now is 11, keeping this 900 in mind. So he's asking me about three main parameters: the median, the mode, and the range, before and after adding this value to the list. So to find the answer, I cannot use that note which says that when we add a k, which is a constant, to all the samples of the list, so we have the range and the standard deviations unchanged. We cannot use this because in this case we are adding a sample to the list. What we do is, since it's a small list, or it's only 10 samples, so I have to find the range, the median, and the mode before and after the addition. By definition, as we said, the range, which is maximum minus the minimum, in this case before the addition it's 900 minus 500, which is 400. But after the addition, so we have a new 900 in this case, so again the range would be 900 minus 500. So the range will not change in this case. Let's have a look at the mode in this case. Before the addition of this new sample, which is 900, the old mode is, we can notice that this sample, which is 550, we have three samples of this sample, 1, 2, and 3. So this sample has the highest frequency, so immediately we can say that this sample is the mode. So the old mode is 550, while after adding this new sample or this new value, still the mode will stay 550 because it has the highest frequency. So the mode again will not change. Now let's find the median. So before the addition of this value, we can find the median by taking the sample which is at the middle. And since we have n equals 10, which is an even number, so we have two middles. In this case 550, 550. So the median before the addition or the adding of this value is 550. Still, after the addition of this new value or adding this new value, n now is an odd number, which is 11. So immediately we will take the sample with the index, which is 6 in this case. So again the median is 550. So D will be the appropriate answer for this question. But we have to notice, guys, that this is a special case where we added a value and still we have the median and the mode and the range unchanged. And normally when we add a value to the list, sometimes we have one of the parameters is changing. Now let's take a look to another example. In this example, guys, we have the dot plot gives us the miles covered by 15 different cars. So if the dot representing the car with the greatest gas mileage is removed from the data plot or the dot plot, what will happen to the mean and the median and the standard deviation of the new dataset? So basically, guys, in this example we have to notice that this sample over here is, we can say, an outlier because it has a very long distance between this sample and the other samples. So removing these samples, as we say, we have a very big change over the mean and the standard deviation, because this is an outlier and we have to pay attention that each and every time we have an error or an outlier with the list or with the samples, so we have a change within the mean and the standard deviation. So he's telling me find the mean, median and standard deviation before and after removing this outlier. So guys, let's start one by one. Let's start by the median. Before this car is removed, because n in this case is 15, so the point which is at the middle is the sample with the index which is 8. So to find the median, it's already ordered, so the median would be the car which has the index 8. So in this case the median is 23. While after removing this outlier, so n in this case is 14, so we have two middles, the index 7 and the index 8. So still we have to add the index 8, which is here, and the index 7, which is also in this case is 23, so the median is 23. So before and after removing this car or this outlier, the median is still the same. And this is the note that we said when we have a normal distribution skewed to the right, this means we have an outlier, so we would say that the median is unchanged. However, the mean and the standard deviation both decrease. Why? We are removing a data point higher than all the other points, so the mean decreases, and we are also reducing the spread in the data, so the standard deviation also decreases. So this outlier basically has an effect on the mean and the standard deviation. So the correct answer for this question is B, because only the mean and the standard deviation will decrease while the median stays the same. Let's take, guys, another example, and this example will be a homework for you guys, but I'm just gonna explain this example. So in this graph we have two schools, the school A and school B, A in black and B in gray. So the bar chart above shows the number of films shown in a class over the past year for 19 classes in A and B. In A we have 19 classes and in B we have 15 classes. So it's asking me which one of the following compares the mean and the median number of films shown in each class for each one of these schools. So basically from this graph and from this number of classes and number of films shown, I have to analyze, I have to find the information from this graph, and based on this graph I have to get an inclusion about the mean and median. So we have, in this question we have four options. The first one is saying that the median and the mean in A is bigger than in B. The second one is saying that in B we have a bigger mean and median, while in C is saying the mean of A is bigger than the mean of B, while the median is the same in both schools. Option D, the mean and median numbers in these classes are the same in both schools. So guys, try to solve this question and we will solve it next class. See you.